friends. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit more decluttering. I am slowly going to be starting to work on the rest of my house. This whole year, I've been doing a bunch of decluttering, and I didn't want to do it all at once because I wasn't really sure of what I would need and how often I would use things. And so I wanted to do it in small chunks. And so I've still continued to do it in small chunks just to make sure that I don't over declutter, I guess. So in today's video, I kind of want to do that next level of really just living with the essentials. And I'm also going to be doing some reorganization too. Okay, so it is declutter night 2 this week, and I figured that I would attack my jewelry. If I'm being honest, I haven't really worn a lot of jewelry in the past year. There's just been a couple pieces that I've worn, and really a lot of my jewelry that I have is just crap quality that makes my ears hurt and it makes them kind of itchy, and I feel like it looks cheap because a lot of what I've gotten has just been from like Walmart or Target or something like that, and I just don't like the way that it looks. I feel like it looks really cheesy, and I don't want it to look cheesy anymore. So I'm going to keep a couple that are pieces that are pretty interchangeable with my outfits, and then I'm going to keep a couple, I'm just going to keep all of like the sentimental like hand-me-downs from grandmas and stuff like that. Obviously I'm going to keep all of those, and my goal is to take this whole thing, so this is where I've been storing all of my jewelry, which has actually worked pretty good. But it has like little hooks all across here, like hook, hook, hook. And then I can hang earrings and stuff all around it as well. So it's worked pretty good, but I just don't really want it to be on my wall anymore. I don't like that look, I guess. And especially since I don't use jewelry every day, I don't really want it anymore. So I want it to try and fit in this case. Okay, so it is the next night, and last night I went through all of my jewelry, and I basically just kept the essentials. So I just kept a couple of the plain basic pieces that I know will fit with many different outfits, and I kept all of my sentimental like family jewelry sort of stuff too, and I basically got rid of the rest. I would like to eventually invest in some good quality pieces of jewelry, like some earrings and some necklaces, to be able to have for years and years and years. And eventually I would like to be able to have some pieces that I could give to my grandkids and tell them like, I wore this when I was your age. And I don't have any pieces like that. All of my jewelry is just so cheesy and Walmart and not good quality. So I want to spend the next, I don't know, year or so and kind of research what I would want those pieces to look like and what kind of quality I would want them to be so they could last a long time, and how do I take care of them. So all that being said, I took down my rack that was on the wall that had all of my jewelry on it. I had it hanging on my wall, and I just want that wall clear. I want as much clear wall space as possible. I have some things on the wall, like I have my fan here on the wall, and I have the mirror over here, and then I have my TV and mirror. And I just want to be able to have as much clean slate as possible. I am also going to take down this picture wall. I have all my pictures up here, and I've enjoyed having them the last couple years, but it kind of feels a little bit like college dorm room to me. I eventually want to frame some nice pictures and have them in nice, really classy picture frames instead of just a bunch of pictures stuck on the wall. So I think what I'm going to do is just take down all of what I have and put those pictures in a photo album or some sort of like little booklet that I can save those pictures. And then I think I might try and do at least one cabinet in my kitchen today too. I've felt recently like I've wanted to go through more stuff and really get just to my essentials. And I think earlier in the year, I spent so much time getting rid of so much stuff, and I would spend like all day decluttering, and that's what I needed at the time. But I think the thought of me doing that again is a little overwhelming. So, and plus I don't have as much stuff as I did then, so I don't really need to do that. But what I think I might do is just do little tiny bite-sized pieces and just keep chunking away at it. So like the first night I did the bathroom, and then the second night I did my jewelry, and tonight I'm going to work on a couple pieces in my room and maybe in the kitchen a little bit too, and just do a little bit at a time. That way it doesn't get too overwhelming and I don't get exhausted and stuck in this big mess. I can just do little bite-sized pieces. So let's get started. I also have, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can kind of see, I have like soot or something behind a lot of my picture frames. I noticed it on this wall too. So I think what I'm going to try and do is take a wet wash rag and some soap, and if that doesn't work, maybe the magic clean eraser or something like that, just to get rid of some of those dusty soot spots. And then I also, at some point in the next month or so, I want to get some putty and fill in all of the holes where I've hung pictures, and I want to repaint some of those spots too. I probably won't repaint everything, but I just want to fill in the holes and repaint just so it looks really nice and crisp and clean. So I got some of these Lazy Susans. I got 4 of them. I got one specifically for my spices. As you can see, it's not very organized, and I got this rack a couple months ago, like 6 months ago, but as you can see, it just does not work. The spices fall over like this, and they tip, they just don't stay straight up, they fall so easily. And so we just end up not using them. We just end up not using it, and so it's just taking up so much space. And so I'm gonna take that out. I've tried to use this in several different places. I tried to use it in my pantry, and I tried to use it in the bathroom, and it just does not fit my needs literally anywhere. So I think I might just end up donating it because it just has not been useful in the slightest. And I'm pretty sure I got it at the dollar store. So, and it's also very wonky. So I'm gonna take this out and then put in that Lazy Susan. I'm also gonna go through some of my spices too while I'm in here and see if there's anything that I can cut down on. Okay, so this is what we have so far. That's just my garbage that I'm gonna take out. And this is just garbage from the packaging where the Lazy Susans came in and the beans. This is something that I don't like anymore that I'm gonna donate. And then I have some cookbooks that I never use. I honestly just always use Pinterest. And then here I have some pots and pans that I either have duplicates of, like I have 2 other pots about this size that I would use instead, and the bottom's pretty burnt. And this one, same, it's pretty burnt. And it has a lot of stains on it, and I have several that are about this size that aren't burnt and that are better quality. And then I have all my spices here that I am going to pass on. That I'm going to pass on to someone else. My roommate might take some of them. I'm going to offer any of these to her and see if she wants it, any of them. And then over here I have some wine glasses. I got rid of most of my wine glasses earlier in the year and I have just never used these. Some random jars here that are like old spaghetti jars and stuff that I've cleaned and saved, but honestly they still smell like spaghetti. And if anyone has a good tip to get the smell of like garlic and tomato out of those spaghetti jars, let me know. But I also have like a ton of jars up there that I've been using, so I don't really need these anyways. So I'm gonna donate these and have someone else use them. First I'm gonna, oh, and then I didn't mention this too. This is a sushi maker that I have only used once in like 2 years. So I'm not going to use it. Usually if I want sushi, I either just order it, have it made somewhere, or I make like a sushi bowl. And that's easier than making it with them. So I'm going to get together all this stuff. I have a pile in my room started over here. Not this. This is all the stuff in my bathroom and the jewelry that I decluttered earlier this week, and I'm just gonna keep a pile going in this corner for the next couple weeks as I declutter. And I kind of just wanted to sit here and see if I need anything, and if I do need anything or think like, oh shoot, I decluttered too much, then I can go back to this pile and grab stuff out before I donate it. So it'll kind of be a little bit of a test. But honestly, I don't think that I'll need anything, so I think I'll be fine. And then lastly, I'm going to use this box that I got the Lazy Susans in to ship out these boots that I just sold on Poshmark. Still got a lot of wear in them, but I made 40 bucks off of them. Very excited. So I'm going to package these up and then run them to the post office. So as I have been organizing and doing some decluttering, it's funny, I feel like God always talks to me when I'm doing something with my hands and working in my space and doing something kind of mindless and repetitive. God always talks to me during those times, and today was no different. I feel like today what kept coming up was him just reminding me who I am in him and no one else. I ran into the guy that I was in a relationship with recently. I ran into him at Walgreens earlier today, and of course it's always when you look crappy, I swear. I don't know why that is, but I was in the mountains this morning in the snow and no makeup, beanie on my head, like sweats, just not really a cute look. And he was with his new girlfriend, and man, I don't know when there's gonna be a time where that's just not hard. Even though I know it's right that we're not together, I know that it is good that I'm single. I know those things, but I think sometimes when you love someone, you've been intimate with someone, stuff like that just hurts. It's just hard and it stings, and it's hard not to just be sad about it. And I think that makes you a human being. I don't think that that means that you want to get back together with him or that you're jealous or anything like that. Something that I was praying about the other day was specifically for God to heal the part of me that feels really insecure and not good enough, specifically to do with romantic relationships. And I think it's funny that pretty much the next day I run into someone that I was in love with and dated and talked about marriage with and babies, and I don't think that that's a coincidence. I think that even though today, like, seeing that, it was really hard and painful, and I definitely cried in the car afterwards. I also hid in the chip aisle from them. Even though it has been hard and I've kind of had a little bit of that pit in my stomach today, I know that God brought this up for a reason. And as all this stuff comes to the surface, I want to just let it out, and I want to give it over to him because I don't want it anymore. I don't want to feel sick when I see someone that I dated. I don't want to feel heartbroken or not good enough or unworthy when I see that. I want to feel free. So I'm trying to do that, and it's hard. But I think sometimes when that stuff happens, that's an opportunity for me to be able to give it to God and have another layer healed. So I've just been kind of trying to sit in those feelings and those thoughts and pray about them and like ask God to change my worldview, like change my mindset so that stuff like that doesn't make me question myself, my own identity, and just praying that I would know 100% who I am in him and him alone, and that when those lies come up, that I am just able to let them roll off my back and remember really where my worth comes from. I will leave you on that note. So if you've had a similar experience or thought or feeling today, you are not alone. We all have them, and sometimes it's just hard, and that's okay. So I'm going to run this to the post office and get cozy for the night. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.